So, here I am today talking about the Outemu Silent Grays. So, for those who don't know what Outemu Silent Grays are, they are silent tactile switches made by Outemu. So, if you don't know what Outemu is or what brand is Outemu are Chinese company that produces cheap and entry-level switches. So, what I have here with me today is the Outemu Silent Grays. I bought it online, so if you want a link for it, I'll provide a link down in the description box below. Now, what we are gonna do today is to mod this Silent Grays, and we'll try to improve its quality by changing the springs and lubing it properly. And we will try to differentiate the quality, the comfort, and the sound. So I ordered the 90 pieces Outemu Silent Grays for my Tom 980 bare bones. And I also ordered 70 grams spring to increase the weight when pressing on the Silent Grays. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to mimic the feel, and I'm trying to duplicate the feel and the comfort of the Boba Silent Tactiles, since I really love the Boba Silent Tactiles. So if you've seen my past video about the RK100 or the RK860, I modded it with Boba Silent Tactiles, and I really do love the feel of it. I really love the experience when typing and when gaming. Now to start off, we will start with, of course, the unboxing of the package. So this took me about 3 weeks to deliver here in our province, or in my country. It is from China. So as you can see in the video, here are the springs. They are well protected, and the Silent Grays, which as you can see is well wrapped and well secured. Now let's open it, and there's another bubble wrap inside, so that's pretty great. Well packaging from the seller. So kudos to the seller for well packaging it and making sure it is secure and nothing is damaged. So now let's try a sample sound test right off the package. So far so good. Loving the feel of it. Now what I have here is the Outemu Silent Forest. This is just for comparison, for the size comparison, for the color comparison. And as you could see, there are some difference between the two of them. So I'll be making a different review for the Silent Forest, so better watch out for it. So now let's start lubing and modding. So first things first, I'll show the tools and the equipments I'll be using and what lube I'll be using. So in here, I'll be using a Kelowna GPL 205G2, a paintbrush, a tweezer, or a switch opener if you have one, and of course the silent gray switches and the springs that we'll be using. So once again, for this mod, I'll be using the 70G springs. So you could choose whatever kind of spring you like. I'm just using the 70G springs because I am trying to duplicate the feel of the Bobas Silent Tactiles. So now let's start opening all the switches. You could use your switch opener for this, but I am poor. I cannot afford any switch opener or key switch opener, so I'm just using a tweezer that you could find in your home or in your house. But you could also use a screwdriver or anything that is thin and not really sharp, but as long as it could pry open the switches. So to open, just use the tweezer and open up the side locks using the sharp side of the tweezer, and then we remove the stock spring and we'll replace it with a 70G spring, the one that we ordered or the one that we'll be using. So as you could see, the 70G is much taller than the stock spring of the Silent Grace. Now we'll start lubing. First off, we'll lube the base, and then the stem, and then the spring. Then we put it all back. So after putting it all back and after assembling it once again, now we will have a sound test. So honestly, I love it, but it is Bobas and Tactile is still quite different. It is close enough to be a Boba Silent Tactile clone, but the feel of the silent Boba Silent Tactile is still unique and it is still more comfortable for me. So, uh, is the mod effective? Yes, it is quite effective, but nothing can compare to the tactile and the feel of the Boba Silent Tactiles. It is still way better and far more superior than this mod. And it is way cheaper than a Boba Silent Tactile or even a Silent Forest. So this is cheaper by 50% since Silent Forest and Silent Boba Tactiles usually cost around $8 for 10 pieces while this Outemu Silent Grace only cost me $3 for 10 pieces. And the spring cost around 60 cents for 10 pieces. So that would bring a total of $3.60, which is still cheaper than the Boba Silent Tactiles or the Outemu Silent Forest. Now for the downside. The downside is that the quality or the durability is not that great. You need to be careful removing it from the PCB or even modding it since the housing is really weak and could easily break. So that is mostly the problem with the Outemu switches since the casing is very fragile. When you try to pry it open, sometimes it would break, and the pins are uh, very fragile, especially when you're trying to remove it from the PCB. It will sometimes stick, the pins would stick with the PCB and you will have to remove it carefully. So you really need to be careful when removing Outemu switches from the PCB. So do I recommend it? Yes, I do recommend it if you want a good silent tactile switch without spending too much money or without breaking your wallet. So I highly recommend this mod. This is very practical and I love it. But if you have tons of cash, then go ahead buy Silent Boba Tactiles. They are still the way better Silent Tactiles for me. So that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions or regarding this or regarding this mod, please leave a comment and I will try to answer it. Also, please do subscribe. I need subscribers and it really helps the channel. So that's it. Stay safe and thank you for watching.